Hey guys, Justin here. Quick note, this is going to be a second lap hot lap, and also a big thanks once again to Steve for sponsoring this video in support of St. Jude. All the proceeds in this video are going to go towards St. Jude, and there's going to be a link in the description so that you can donate too if you want to. I would really highly recommend it and would appreciate it a lot. Alright, let's get to the lap. Alright, so I'm a bit stumped in a sense. Like, I think that first lap, turn 1 and 2 is worse, but first lap 3 and 4 is better than second lap. So my best lap was this lap here, which was on a lap 1, but I beat this 1 and 2 by like half a tenth on plenty of lap 2 attempts, but I could just never get 3 and 4 on lap 2. And I think I could get 3 and 4. I just never did. So I gotta say first lap. But the problem with first lap is you gotta get up to speed really, really well coming off of pit road, and you gotta get this 3 and 4 like perfect, or else you're not gonna have enough speed at the line. So what you're gonna have to do, this isn't like a recommendation, you're gonna have to do this to get enough speed. Drive all the way up to the wall here. Don't enter the corner like a lane down or anything. Drive all the way up to the wall, and then you let off to half for like a tiny bit. Or sorry, I let off full for like a second, and then you get straight back in. And as long as the car is not sliding up to the wall at this point, you're good to go. No worries. You're all done. You can just full throttle, turn down however you want, as long as you're not sliding the rears. If you throttle too early in this scenario, you'll slide to the wall, and it'll kind of kill your momentum because you're gonna have to back off. So honestly, if you're going for a first lap and you have time in the qualifying session and you're going for this line where you let off early, about full throttle for about a second, and then get straight back in, I would just bail and try again if you're sliding up to the wall at this point. Now you could get a little loose here, but that's fine. You can get loose all you want. You just don't want to be sliding up into the wall. So okay, so that's how you get the run-up. And still, this run-up is about 200ths slower than an average run-up from lap 1 to lap 2. But I just think that 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 has so much more grip. Or 3 and 4 on lap 1 has so much more grip. We'll see. So this is the 1 and 2 line. We're going to wall rip 1 and 2. Now, here's the thing. We can go bottom here. Bottom is about half a tenth slower than top when both are executed as well as I can do it. So the 1, you're going to go up here, and 2, you're going to make a late arc down to the bottom, but getting on the gas as early as possible. So just know that you can go either place, but I think the top, it looks harder. I think it might be easier, and I'll show you why. The inputs of this wall rip line are not that bad. So around the 2, I don't really use markers, but let's say around the 2, no, sorry, right before the 1. I kind of do it right before I get to the white line, this white line right here. I make sure to go full off for like a moment, like as quickly as you go off, and then you just ease your way back in. So for 1 moment, you go full off, and then you ease your way back in. And again, just like I said with the outlap, if you did this correctly, your car will stick, quote unquote, to this line. And if you do this incorrectly, your car will begin to start sliding out from the line. Now, why am I talking about the line? because when we are riding the wall, the worst thing you could possibly do is be looking at the wall, because when you're looking at the wall, you'll end up in the wall because that you're subconsciously just follow where you're looking. So this whole corner, do not ever look at the wall. Always look at this line right here. This line doesn't lie. If your left sides are on this line or just above this line, you're not in the wall. So I'm looking at the left line this entire time, lining up my left side wheels with it, full throttle. And again, it's not that bad. So once we get past that sketchy beginning part where we go full off really quick and then ease back on, staring at the line, making sure I'm not sliding off it. Once we're full throttle here, it's all wheel. Don't let your car tell you any different. It's all wheel. You can do it. It's bad on your tires, but this isn't a long run. This is qualifying. So very good. That's how you just get a launch. And see, we're a 10th back of my bottom time coming off the corner. And when we get to the sector, I'm still behind. But by the time we get to the end of the straight here, we're 200ths up. So that's what all that got us, was 200ths on my best bottom run. The bottom run is tough, and because when you get to the bottom on 1 and 2, it's easy to get loose, and if you slide your tires at all, you lose all of your momentum. So I think it's more consistent to keep your grip up top in 1 and 2. So I think I recommend top. So then 3 and 4, it's got to be bottom. On hot lap, bottom 3 and 4 is 2/10 faster than top, and I believe that with my heart. Some people are saying that they thought top of 3 and 4 is better. I don't think top of 3 and 4 has ever been better for me anywhere on anything. So what we do here, sorry if I'm rambling here, this is just kind of a confusing lap. There's a lot of different things you can do, which is really fun. A lot of multi-groove, but it's just deciphering what's the best for you. So we're going to go for a long arc to the bottom. The thing about 3 and 4, just like I said, I will say for the long run, is that there's kind of a bend mid-corner. If you get to the bottom too early, you're going to have to add additional steering input to kind of curve around this apex. So we want to get to the apex before, like right as we get to the white line. So you see here, I use a little bit of brake. I'm kind of modulating a bit. It doesn't matter too much. The only thing that matters is my goal of reaching the white line at about the exact apex of the corner. And that sounds kind of easy in practice, but you can overdrive entry a lot. So it's kind of a fine line, because if you underdrive entry, you're just going straight to the white line and you just are slow. If you overdrive entry, you're like stuck in this middle lane groove where you would have to like really brake to turn down. So you have to get this really perfect line where you start at the wall and then you just ease your way down, and then at apex you're at the white line. So we'll look at here. So we ease our way down, and then when I get to the white line, full throttle. Just about, ease your way up the throttle. So sometimes I'm able to get full throttle on that white line, but I was carrying a ton of speed here. This was what I wasn't able to do on the second lap tires. I carried a lot more speed than usual getting to the white line. At this speed on second lap, it just feels like the car doesn't want to turn down the hill. So that's kind of the difference. So 2/3 throttle, we're just holding that, and then when I'm able to get the wheel turned back to center, or at least beginning the process, that's when I can bring the throttle up. So you can see here, wheel is still jacked, gonna hold the throttle. Wheel unloading, throttle goes up. And because I finished the throttle up a little early, the car gets loose. But I have to do that to push for speed. So it's a balance. But in general, if your steering wheel is turned to the left or not in the process of turning back to center while you get full on the gas, you're going to get loose. That's a good thing to recognize in all stages. But anyways, that was a pretty lengthy explanation of this lap. Let's go look at some long run laps. All right, so we did a race here. Well, we did 3 because I'm farming this week for some iRating, and we lost the first 2 to Larry, and we're not going to talk about them because I choked both of them. But I learned what to do for the third race. What I was really missing in the first 2 races was not being able to run the high line 3 and 4 late in the run. So I'll show you what I was doing. Actually, let's go into cockpit. So early run, I was actually getting pressured a lot from Jacob behind me. He was running a blistering pace, but this is my early run line. Late arc to the bottom 1 and 2. Try to unload the wheel as early as possible. So what I'm doing here is not getting to the bottom super early, because I can just kind of hold my steering wheel and get the car to rotate on its own with the throttle. And now suddenly I'm getting loose the entire exit and it's just driving off the right rear. And I want that. We're saving as much right front as possible for the end of the race because we're going to be transitioning to the top at the end of the race.
Okay.
So 3 and 4, same idea, late arc. This is pretty akin to the qualifying line, except just a little bit less sending it. So second place was really pushing hard. 40.9, 40.8 is like really quick for the beginning of a run. And so he tries to basically do the same thing. But the thing is, what he's doing is he's keeping a little bit too much on the right front. See how I'm just sliding up the track here? This kind of tells me that I'm on the right rear here, and he's kind of driving it off the right front. Like, he might be getting a little loose snapping wise, but I think that in general, he was a little bit less on the right rear than I was. And that's kind of the difference. But he's getting some short-term speed from being on the right front, but I just don't think it's enough. So I got a little bit too loose there, but he can't really take advantage of it. But anyways, that's kind of what I did for the first bit. We'll go to lap 10 here. We're about 1 second to fall off at this point. But on lap 10, again, we're still going for the same line. It's going to be a little bit harder to turn down on entry, but I'm still looking for that late apex, getting the car loose with the throttle, and then keeping the car loose the entire way. So he's still hanging right onto my bumper at lap 10, but I know, I like in my head know for a fact by now that I've been out saving my right front tire on him. So nothing of the line looks crazy right now. It's mostly just the amount of tire that I've worn, so that's why we have the 1 second fall off. But now we'll go to lap 15 here. And at this point, I've started to gap him a little just because this is about when the tires start showing up. About lap 15 is when I start transitioning to the top. So you can see that this is one of the last laps that I go for that big arc. See how I carry a lot more momentum than he does through the corner. The speed difference down the back is just really big. And then 3 and 4, same idea, late apex, get to the white, gas to the white, and try to keep as much momentum all the way through, let the car slide up, carrying a ton of speed. And I think I'm about a mile an hour or two faster than him. And I think this is the first lap where I go for top. Nope, I'd go one more lap. So lap 17, anywhere between 15 and 20 is a good time to start. So here's the line. I let off and drag brake right at like between the 2 and the 1, but definitely before the 1. And then for the first one, I just try to keep it off the wall, so I'm actually a lane down, but that's not too bad. And you can I was kind of lucky to keep it off the wall there. I could have steered more, but I didn't want to wear the right front. I actually touched the wall, that's kind of funny. But it did absolutely nothing. And so you see I'm just driving away. Look at the speed difference, like 4 miles an hour. And then I'm still going bottom 3 and 4, but I'm going to start going top 3 and 4 fairly soon, and we'll take a look at that. But this top lane, I start kind of easing into the top lane. I think I do a second one up top. And this second lap, I have a little more comfort, so I'm able to keep it a little higher. The higher you can keep it, the more momentum you're going to be able to carry. Just it's all about not overdriving your mark. And 3 and 4, I think, is going to be the same. Yeah, late arc. Let me try to find a lap where I did high 3 and 4. Probably this lap, if I had to guess. Because I ran some good laps at the end. So at this point, we're gone. Once the race goes to the top, it's all about who saved the most right front, and I did. So we're just driving the top, just keeping a little bit off the wall, not too bad. And then I'm pretty sure I went high 3 and 4 here. Yeah, more or less. Kind of high. You can, either of these top 2 lanes are fine. So this is a very tough corner. You have to kind of pivot the car. So dragging the brake on entry, so dive it a little deeper than you would for 1. Almost treat this like it's the bottom of the track. So dive it a little deeper and then get on the gas to rotate the car. You have to make sure that your entry angle is correct though. If you enter the car too straight, the gas is not going to yaw the car out. So this was kind of on the verge. I had to wait a little bit on it. But this top lane in 3 and 4 is faster at the end of the race. I wanted to think that the bottom was better, but it just doesn't keep up at the very end. Let's see, a couple laps to go here. So same idea, but a little earlier. Whew, that was a little too close for comfort. I don't know why I went up that close to the wall. I actually hit the wall on the last lap, but I was so far ahead it didn't even matter. It was kind of funny. Probably shouldn't have done that, but I kind of missed the mark. So I think I went high 3 and 4 here too. Yeah, I don't go all the way up top. I like this kind of second seam right here. Get the car to pivot, get the car to weight shift, drive it loose off the corner. It'll just be fast. So that's kind of what I like to do in late run. Other than that, we don't talk about getting into the wall. We don't talk about this. I just didn't get enough on the brake. Car didn't want to turn. Oh well. Just a little scrape. But yeah, we get the win. And it's a pretty good run for St. Jude. Shout out to Steve and St. Jude. Make sure to go check them out in the description. I'm going to be donating all the money I make off this video to St. Jude. You can see all the previous videos we did with that. We were able to raise $100 last year. Hoping to at least double that this year, but we're going to definitely do some stuff with them, charity streams and whatnot. So we'll see what we can do out of that. But other than that, thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful day and hope to see you all on the track.